Hey everybody, welcome to a spin-off series called High Scored 1-Up Extra. These are going to be videos with a main series counterpart that pretty much just kind of hits on anything that I might have missed in the first video, or I couldn't really find a place to fit it in. One example would be this moment from remix number 9 that has a really cool transition into Glee Club. That's pretty sweet. I'm not sure how I forgot to put that into the last video. But anyways, we're going to wrap up Rhythm Heaven here by doing a comb over of the last remix of the game, Remix 10. Includes every mini game, so it pretty much covers the whole gambit of transitions that I wanted to kind of go over here. So we've got a pretty easy cold start here with Karate Man. Nothing too complicated, and it gets us ready for the remix. There's lots of tapping going on in this game here. And then once we get into the next game, Maduwop, it introduces holding into the tapping. Then we add on to this tapping and holding with Crop Stomp, adding in a flick. Get a nice little rest period here with Built to Scale, some more simple gameplay that we're used to. And then going back to more tapping, holding, and flicking with the Dazzles. Love Lab gives us more of the same with tapping, holding, and flicking. And then this next game is nice because it really doesn't demand much for your tapping, just kind of whenever you move your stylus, so a little bit more low pressure. Splashdown gets more into tapping and holding again, a little bit more fast paced here. And then kind of slowing down the pace with Rhythm Rally here. I love this game. It really takes tapping, holding, and flicking and puts them in a really unique package. Bluebirds here gets us ready for some tapping in the next couple of games. You'll see how tapping happens a lot in these next couple of games. And actually I'm going to slow it down here a little bit because this transition is really cool. So coming from Space Soccer into Shoot 'em Up, it's kind of hard to tell, but I actually do tap an extra time after Space Soccer ends. And the game does register this tap, and you can even see it in the firing animation. But since Rhythm Heaven anticipated this, it made sure that it didn't penalize me for it. That's a pretty cool workaround. This next transition, I'm going to kind of let it speak for itself. That is so cool. I cannot think of a cooler way to transition into lockstep. But this next transition here is actually not too great, because if I would have continued tapping along with lockstep, I would have had another clap in this next game and it would have been penalized for it. I don't really see how they could have done so well on the Space Soccer to Shoot 'em Up transition, and they kind of dropped the ball from Lockstep to Fan Club. And this next game here is actually not seen until this remix. It's pretty easy to extrapolate though how it works out. It even works in a pretty rare active state transition into Glee Club. Glee Club also introduces some tapping and holding as we get into Philbots here. And the Munchie Monk gives us a nice prep before a lot more tapping coming up in these next few games. So actually, if you look at the transition between these games, you can see how there's kind of three basic principles that we're going by here, whether a game mainly uses taps, holds, or flicks, or some combination of those three. If you look at how all these games are laid out, you can see how they try to use the mechanic used in the previous game in the next game if they want to introduce something new. This only doesn't happen a few times, and it's a little bit jarring when it happens, but for the most part you can see these chunks of where each mechanic is used. It offers some really nice transitions. Really great gameplay design here. And then once again we head out to Karate Man to close out the game. There's actually some significance here in that Karate Man was the first minigame in the original Rhythm Tengoku. It's a pretty cool way to wrap up the sequel. Alright everyone, that puts a wrap to Rhythm Heaven. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.